friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you are on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I, along with my husband Chris, like to make over secondhand finds. Not only small items, but we do some furniture items here on the channel. So in today's video, that is what we're doing. We are sharing the process of taking down secondhand, maybe a little bit worse for wear, just may need a color change, or actually sometimes it just may need cleaned. So this piece here today takes me outside. It is an awesome industrial piece, but meaning that it's industrial, it came from somebody's workshop, and it is, I can't say that it's greasy, oily. I think it has every kind of shop liquid on it possible. As you see, it is going to start turning the degreaser colors right away. So it needs to be power washed. But first I need to put some type of a degreaser, and I just happen to have this super clean degreaser laying around in our shop, and I'm like, I think this would be perfect for this very sticky item. Yep, we are in the process of moving, y'all. That's what those boxes are. But I still got projects to work on. So, well, luckily, last year, Chris hooked up water in our garage. We got this amazing power washer from Graphics Tools. A retractable power washer, y'all. It is awesome. After I get it all power washed, the sun dried it, I can bring it back into my workshop and start to work. The thing that I loved about this piece is this metal top, though as you see, it's got that rusty crustiness that is raised and bumpy. So I'm taking some fine grit steel wool and using some elbow grease to try to knock it down so it's a little bit smoother. Ended up being a task in itself, trying to get most of, how rust builds up, and it just is chunky. So I want this to be a little bit smoother. So now I'm just cleaning it with another degreaser, trying not to leave it wet so it builds that rust back up. I love the patina. I love rusty crusty, and I'm trying to resell this piece, y'all, and people love that industrial vibe, but you still gotta clean it up. So I think I could wipe this piece a million times and still get stuff off my rag. So I was going to spray the top anyway, but I was trying to get it as clean as I possibly can, and just realized that that just wasn't happening. So I'm going to go ahead, and I know, y'all, I am not repainting this beautiful. It's been aged, it's been used. That's the vibe that a lot of people like when it comes to those industrial pieces. This chippy paint is awesome. So to seal this top in, I'm going to be using a few coats of the Weather Defense, the metal spray. Yes, it was a hard call not to sand this piece down, not to repaint this piece. I actually bought some Sweet Pickens milk paint in the kind of the same color to repaint this piece, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do it. It's really hard as a furniture painter not to sand something down, but that is beautiful patina. That's patina that people are looking for. But I am going to work on this hardware a little bit. The hardware, as you see, has been painted on. I'm not going to take the hinges off. I'm not going to worry about that. But at least for the knobs, I will go ahead and get those cleaned up. But as I'm working on those, I'm like, oh wow, the inside is metal too. So back to cleaning, getting a lot more grease off. Oh my gosh, there was so much grease on this piece. It would almost have been easier to paint it, but you still can't paint over grease. So yes, that was clean, trying to get more of the grease off. I had sprayed the degreaser on the inside, but just the way, you hit it with the power washer, it just wasn't coming clean. Same thing, steel wool on the inside. This had some white paint, as you saw, so I'm trying to take the steel wool to get that down and knock down some of that built up rust. So far, I've done a total of 3 coats on the top of this. A couple coats. Yeah, I'm doing the inside too. I gotta seal that rust in, but I want to give it one light sanding and do one more coat. Kind of like you do with wood, I'm just doing on the top of this with the metal. It's just that beautiful, aged, rusty, crusty patina, but we all like to see it, but we don't like it when it comes off on our hands. Now that I have the metal taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and wax the entire piece. This was in a workshop. As I said, I tried to get most of that grease off that I could, but I want to make it probably smell a little bit better. So I'm using the Howard's citrus wax to do this. And the thing about waxing over this glossy paint, which is I would assume is a latex. I have no idea. It's going to take a lot longer to cure it, and there's really nothing for it to soak into, but it will give it that nice finished feeling. So I started off applying it with just a piece of drop cloth, but then I thought, really to get it in there and to make this piece even feel a little bit more smoother, I'm going to go ahead and just use some fine grit steel wool to apply the wax, and that's really going to open up a little bit of that paint. And then, as I said, make it nice and smooth. And so it'll be a wax on and then wipe off some of the excess, but it's going to take a few days for this to cure and really get that hard wax surface going on. This is the spot on the door I had a hard time with. Not that I was a hard time waxing, but that it was so chippy. So I'm like, okay, I'm waxing over it. So it's not going to be so fun to paint if I end up having to bring it back home after putting it in our booth to resell it. But yep, it was everybody, when I showed this in our hall, was like, no, I hope you're not painting that. I hope you're not painting it. So you know what? That's why I'm sharing the process with you all, how I had to clean it just to get it to resell. So back to this hardware. The hardware is gorgeous, but as you see, it was painted on. So I'm going to go ahead and get it soaking to get that green paint off. So some super hot water and some Dawn dish soap. So to paint it, this will be a different process. So most of the paint came right off. I didn't have any question that it would, but I'm going to rust it. I want to make it look like the top. And before I had Dixie Belle's Patina paint, this would have probably been pretty impossible to achieve. Yeah, I tried all the different techniques and I love this one. Yes, so it's the iron paint, and so I'm just dabbing on iron paint here and there, not covering the whole thing because the top isn't covered the whole thing with rust. So, and then while it's still wet, I will spray on the Dixie Belle's green spray, and the green spray is the one that makes that red-brown rust. You heard me, I did not let my paint dry. I put it right on top of that wet paint. And I didn't want to forget my screws either. I wanted to make them look just the same. So yes, so the nice thing about putting it on when the paint is wet, that it will run down a little bit and really look like that real rust. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous, y'all. So now I need to seal it in. So I'm going to be sealing it in with that same Weather Defense spray. Wow, look how well these match the top. That was what I was trying to achieve. I know I could have took the hinges off and blah, 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 but nope, not going to deal with those, but at least wanted to make the handles stick out. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'm not even sure if this was a makeover. I'm not sure. You know, when I picked up that piece and I got it from the auction, everybody was like, oh, I hope you leave it as is. I hope you leave it as is. It was filthy dirty. It was greasy and gross and So, you know, I did order milk paint from Sweet Pickens that I thought that matched. You saw me here on this channel use that color a couple times. I absolutely love it. So we'll see how it goes. If the front's a little too chippy, will somebody buy it? It's all cleaned up. It's waxed. I don't think it smells like shop. I don't know. But it's a beautiful piece. And I did, you know, I don't know. As a reseller, I'm not really good at just throwing something in the booth without cleaning it. If I wouldn't put it in my home, I'm not going to try to resell it. So that's just how I am. So give me a quick comment down below. I know so many people probably would have repainted it, but then I had so many reviews when I showed it on the auction haul said, please leave it as is. So we'll see how it goes. You can always bring it back home and repaint it if you have to, you know, but it is cleaned up and it is a beautiful industrial piece. So give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you to look at secondhand finds in a new way? And would you have painted it? Would you left it just like we did for the time being? So thanks again for watching, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you are new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to.